Hello there, dear Headhunter viewers. We appreciate your comments. We appreciate your feedback. More reason why you're there with us, waiting right on time for us to start the show. My name is Laban Cliff, coming to you from Kofisi, Africa. Well, today I don't have a guest. I'm my own guest. How about that? Well, this episode, we've decided to take things a bit different and really just pause and reflect of how far we've come. 3, 2, 1. Did you know there are people who never apply for jobs? Well, opportunities just come to them and they get hunted. How do you get yourself to the headhunters list?
Number 1.
Integrity matters.
Number 2.
You have got to work it.
And number 3.
Nothing comes easy.
My name is Laban Cliff.
Welcome to the Headhunter.
More than just being a host of the Headhunter, I'm a passionate believer in Africa's talent. I'm a believer in Africa's youth who are out there and ambitious to get ahead in the various spaces, be it at work, be it at businesses as well, and even if they're students as well. So the questions I've always got in my career, even as I give talks to students, as I give counsel to my colleagues, is how do you stay ahead? Okay, are there opportunities I can apply for? Are there jobs? What are some of the ideas of the jobs I can look out for? And what's interesting is in my interactions as well, especially in my job as Chief of Staff to the CEO at Standard Group, is I have been exposed to a lot of senior executives as well who are looking for this talent. So there seems to be a disconnect in terms of the employers and those who are searching for jobs, the job seekers that is, and just saying, you know what, we don't seem to get it right. We just don't know what exactly is needed. How should I place my CV? How shall I position myself for the interview? So all these, shall I say, soft skills? I'm saying soft because the rule of thumb is go to school, work hard, go get the job. But then again, you jump into corporate, you jump into this business world, you realize things are done a bit different. And that's a question the Headhunter seeks to answer in the sense of what exactly is a disconnect. And of course, we've had a myriad of guests and you can see them all on your screens, and we really, really want to thank them for creating time. And just to mention but a few, having the Chief HR for Safaricom join us, Mr. Paul Kasimu. We've had, of course, Paul Russo at the time, and that's actually something interesting that we've been discussing in the Headhunter team, is that most of the guests we've had here, I think after they show up here, they actually go and get promotions, I must say. So we've seen that as well with Mr. Paul Russo, who was named as KCB Group CEO. At the time we interviewed him, he was National Bank Managing Director, and we send congratulations to him. Another gentleman I need to single out is Mr. David Segawa, who at the time we interviewed him, he was the Director of HR, that's people, actually global HR, for Living Goods. And ladies and gentlemen, guess what? He's just been appointed as the Group HR Director for Equity Group. And of course, we were on call with him last weekend. He was busy in East Africa just trying to learn the business, meeting a few staff here and there, and very excited. So I don't know, I think there's a good charm of being on the Headhunter show. So if you're an executive out there and you'd like to come in and share your insights, particularly in people development, people development, especially just trying to make sure we can actually develop leaders of the future, please don't forget, just write to us on the email on your screens, share with us your profile, and of course, even apart from the email, just reach out to us on LinkedIn. We have our Headhunter page. Look at that and just comment, say what you like about the show, and give us feedback as well. So those are some of the highlights, and not really to speak about the men and forget the ladies. It's quite interesting to actually see the push. I can't say competition, but I can just say the push that the ladies are actually giving to the men in the corporate sector. We've interviewed from the young to old. I mean, quite remember the likes of Kaguru Munyo, who's just transitioned out from Kobo Africa. This is the lady who started Uber operations in Kenya and went into Kobo Africa, which is a global operations, and now doing her own startup in Jumba, and which recently announced again funding after, of course, being on the Headhunter, they announced quite a chunk of funding for the organization. So we've had Kagure, we've had Pauline Kirathe, a lady I really look up to. She's been HR director at the media spaces, particularly at Standard Group and at Nation, and has a very good understanding of the media landscape. What's more interesting is that she actually shared her insights about how, at the time she was working for Kensal, do you remember Kensal, Zain, Kensal, and the whole transition with Airtel, and how that business case, how Safaricom managed to move away with the cheese, if I may. I don't want to take words out of her mouth, but just a snippet in case you missed that. There's a lesson there in management. You look at it as you were market leaders at one point, and then Safaricom just comes in and kind of tilts the scales.
Yes.
What management lesson did you learn from that?
You know, sometimes, and I remember even at that time, the market was already demanding for per second billing. Yeah, but because with the French then, the Vivendi, for them, from their background, they had established other telco organizations across Africa. So for them, they were hell-bent on per minute billing. So I think for me, the key lesson is you need to listen to your customers. Yeah, because I think at that point, we already had the market. Yeah, even the network was much better, even than Safaricom at that
Clarity,
point. Yes.
Reach, and all
yes.
that, yeah.
So the only problem is they didn't listen to the clients. Yeah, we didn't listen to the customers. That's where now that gap, that's where now Safaricom came in and took over in terms of the per second billing. And then you see the thing is, after clients have told you severally, and you're not listening and heeding to their calls, what happens is they lose faith in you. Yeah.
See, in fact, when she shared that story, it gave us an idea of having MBA students join us on the Headhunter. So, drum roll, we're happy to announce that very soon we'll be getting into a partnership with very top business schools in Africa to have them sit in the audience of the Headhunter to actually get some of these insights firsthand. But hey, don't worry, if you're not an MBA student and still want to join us for a live audience, stay tuned. We'll be sharing details as well. So we've had from the women as well. Let's not forget the youth. A gentleman who is quite critical in this space because he understands the youth, understands their psyche as well. I know Harvard has done a very good case study about the whole Gen Zs, Gen Ys as well. But Martin Openda really brought it out quite well in terms of like how the young talent can actually stay ahead. Martin Openda, at the time we interviewed him, was a talent manager at KPMG. And again, Martin Openda, of course, after speaking to us, has also gotten a promotion and gotten another as well. And we say congratulations to all these guests who are really scaling the heights. Well, as you can tell, the Headhunter indeed is a show right on time, especially in this day and age. COVID really had a lot of lessons, management lessons, family lessons, a lot of even for the government as well. So you're looking at it in terms of how has this impacted on talent? How has this impacted on how people behave? How has this impacted on people, how they apply for jobs, how they run their businesses? And what you'd admit is that indeed there is a good opportunity, there's a good chance for this show to actually scale and make sure that we can, move across the region and move across, the continent and just really share the message. I want to give a special shout out to the LinkedIn fraternity because speaking to the LinkedIn, the LinkedIn professionals, that is, who actually work there, I need to also mention Stuart Samkange, who has been a very good friend as well and has transitioned into Dublin. LinkedIn is growing in Africa. LinkedIn is growing in this region, and we're more than happy to actually partner with them and see how we can leverage on such opportunities on social media. The Standard Group, thanks to the opportunity, of course, with KTN Home, there's a good chance to actually see how we can develop synergies with such multinationals and ensure that we can actually stay ahead. So this is actually a shout out to LinkedIn, and I'm sure that we will be in discussions as well to see how we can collaborate and partner. And of course, snippets of this show will also be shared on LinkedIn as well. Well, what do you think about that? So please, we're taking a quick break, but when we come back, I'll just be sharing with you some of the highlights or just some of the, the sweetest bites we've gotten from the Headhunter Season 1 as we go along, but we'd love to hear from you. So please do comment. If it's on that YouTube link, you go on the KTN Home YouTube page, on the playlist, you're going to see the Headhunter. You're going to catch all the episodes in case you missed them. But after we come back from the break, we'll be just playing to you some of the sweetest bites, as I may, that we got from Season 1. So, drum rolls. Don't go too far. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Well, as we said at the start of this show, to my left and to my right, we don't have a guest. I'm my guest today. Well, but we're just doing a recap of the shows we've had for Season 1, and also still appreciating the great feedback we're receiving as well on the Headhunter. And for this time, let me mention also my colleagues and staff. Special shout out especially to Mr. Joe Munene, who kind of spearheaded this show to actually where it is, and Madam Catherine Mwangi as well. It's been a good learning experience, I must say, even with the whole production team and the great insights that's actually been shared on this program. Where do we start? Team? Okay, you guys decide who's going to go first, but here are some of the interesting bites of the Headhunter.
My name is Catherine Musakali. I'm the chair of the Women on Boards Network.
Here's what you need to know to get hunted onto a board.
You need a good profile. We will talk about how to build your board profile. We'll talk about where, how, and why you should be networking. We will talk about developing your leadership style and how you look for that leadership role. Because leadership is not given, it is taken.
It doesn't matter, Laban, what your last name is, where you've come from, or where you've been. What is ahead of you is determined by meritocracy, by hard work, by leveraging your contacts, by bringing your A game every day. That element of being empathetic, leading by personality, leading by what you stand for, that to me is more powerful. I have learned to understand that business or material success is not everything. To me, my anchor is my family. What keeps me up at night is if my family is not in a good place.
Hello there, this is Laban Cleave, the Headhunter. 3 things you need to know to get onto the Headhunters list.
Agility, innovations, empathy. My name is Winnie Pertet. When you understand the purpose of your organization and why you are there, it is only natural that you ask yourself, then if we know who we are and why we exist, are we living to that? And the hardest thing is to, when you're changing your culture, is to deal with people who are completely not aligned to your thinking. And the hard conversations therefore begin. Employees are looking for flexibility. And all these call actually for a good examination of the culture space.
Hello there. Here's why you should not miss the Headhunter this week.
As a headhunter, I look for agility, fun, authenticity, and a bit of adaptability. As we grow in our careers, you get to a CEO level or an MD level. It's always okay if you find it a bit tough. You can always still come down and start afresh and still go up. Don't get fixated here. It's fine to take a few steps back and then start your journey again.
What's your advice to people managers into how they can be transformational leaders?
Be able to make some tough calls around what does it take, what trade-offs do you need to make around today's way of working in order to secure a future business success. How do we very quickly bring in diversity, equity, and inclusion and build it into organizational cultures and not just bolt it on? Because that's the reality we have to deal with.
Knowing what is suitable for your own person is really what is important. Then you can decide how open you keep yourself. But you can only be open-minded if you're willing to take risks. Every experience that you have will consolidate. And in every experience you have as well,
you pick lessons that are applicable to the next and the next. And those lessons, nobody takes it away from you, regardless of what you are doing.
Wow. How's that? To any partner out there, would love to have a sponsor on board, by the way. So we're calling out on any partner, any sponsor who would like to throw their back on the Headhunter. Please reach out on the email below. I'm sure Charity will get a hold of you and we can be able to sign up and work together. We have a very big team as well, and I must say that we shortly will be playing to you some of our highlights. I mean, it's not all work and no play. So during our shoots, we've also had some time as well for nice selfies as well, some nice background interactions. So I will be playing that to you shortly, and you can just see that, and it's just a bit of fun. So actually, our previous guest, I think Frank said, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So I'm not sure we're that dull. So look at the team making this happen behind the scenes for you. How do you get to yourselves to that list of people who are hunted? Is there a glare on my specs? I have to remove it. Okay, so my name is Laban Cliff. 3, 2, 1. This is it. Sit down.
What?
You just, okay. Get this thing. Oh, sorry, I hope we're not recording that. I'll be there in February. I hope February. I think next month.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
Must go
next
sometime.
month. Yeah.
You get a free ticket.
Yeah, it's fine.
Looks at the background. The background, yes, there's a joke we have there. The joke we have is this guy is gone.
Very good. Thanks for your time.
Good. Always happy
I'm
to
grateful.
see you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Good. Well, we cannot thank you enough, and not forgetting Coffee Africa, who've been so kind to us, hosting us for the very many episodes we've recorded. What's interesting to know that we've really gone round town to their Coffee centers. I think we've been at Coffee Eden Square. We've been at Coffee Westlands. We've been at Coffee Karen. Have a stellar space as well at Coffee Upper Hill. We cannot wait to see what they have to showcase in Coffee Riverside. I think that's a new flagship stop space, and I think it'll be great to continue this partnership as well with these co-working spaces that are really revolutionary and top of the edge, I must say. Thank you again to the entire fraternity at Coffee Africa for hosting the Headhunter. Well, we really want to appreciate everyone. We really want to appreciate all the stakeholders in this program. This is part of a larger vision of the Standard Group to bring you cutting-edge shows and getting you updated and keeping up with the mantra as the media as well. We want to thank the board, management, and the CEO of the Standard Group for all they have done as well, not only for the Headhunter, but of course for the entire platforms as well that we continue to showcase to Kenyans and of course the world at large. Thank you very much to our viewers. Thank you very much for taking time to always be an ardent viewer as well, and thank you for the feedback. I know we cannot sample all the feedback as well, but we'll be able to just share that on our social media platforms and some on your screens as well. We would like to also ensure that we can also hear from you, so please continue sharing the same with us. For now, we want to now transition and engage Gear 2, where now we bring you Season 2 of the Headhunter coming soon. Goodbye for now. And of course, as we head towards the elections, vote peacefully and of course ensure that we still have a country to keep. Goodbye for now.